The perfect mock drafts roll on with the Miami Dolphins.
It's going to be short.
Hey, this will be fun. We got 4 picks for the Miami Dolphins in this draft, but you got Jalen Waddle, so or
Tyreek Hill. You already had Jalen Waddle.
You had him, yeah, and you added Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, let me. If you don't like the fact you only have 4 draft picks, let me make you feel better. You got Tyreek Hill, Merry Draftmas.
There you go.
You are officially like the frat boy that got a car for Christmas, and then you got an air freshener and 3 packs of Lifesavers.
The Chris Farley perfect mock draft here from the Sportsocracy.
Yeah, things are going great.
Tyreek Hill's in town. Let's see what they could add to it. 3rd round, 102 overall. Zach Tom, center out of Wake Forest.
This is one of my favorite players in this draft because I think he's so multi-dimensional. And you put him in this zone blocking scheme. I originally had him to San Francisco. Well, they have 2 picks in front of Miami, and then this pick shows up, and he is, to me, the piece that ties this line together. You already got Terron Armstead. You've got all the and Connor Williams. You got all the draft capital wrapped up in these guys. This is the center. And I'm telling you, I'm higher on Zach Tom. Watch the Green Bay Packers. They have a kid named Elgton Jenkins. It's exactly who Zach Tom is. And I think that's going to be the role he plays. You are just really good at blocking in this system. And no matter what happens, no matter who goes down, you are the catch-all. I think he would start at center with Dieter on the roster, who, I don't love, but he is there, and you did invest a 3rd-round pick in him. He would be the backup, and if you ever had to move Zach Tom, that's who would slide in at center. Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it, and now, to me, that is the A+, no doubt. This is the player you should be pursuing, player in the 2022 NFL Draft, live from Las Vegas, Nevada.
And then, in the 4th round, 125th overall, Oto Obonya, defensive tackle, UCLA.
This is a team that doesn't, at this point, have a ton of deficiencies. They brought a lot of the defense back. I just look at Obonya and go, you're raw, and this could bite me in the ass, but if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I've still got a young quarterback on a rookie deal. I can take some swings because I'm so talented on offense. I really don't have a deficiency on offense. With Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, that takes that away. I can add a running back in a depth running back in undrafted free agency. Kyron Williams out of Notre Dame would be the one I would be looking for because he ran so poorly that he may very well not get drafted. So I look at Obonya and go, you know what? You're super raw. Size-wise, you fit that nose tackle-ish role. I don't know that that's what he's actually going to do. I've always said we have this lazy ability in scouting to go, oh, he's 325. He's a traditional nose. No, he's not. He can do that, and that's what I think Miami would be drafting him to do, but I would say he's a year away. He can be a rotational defender to start with. He's good against the run. You're just going to have to teach him to have really much of an impact against the pass. Bulk him up, strengthen him up, run him through an NFL strength and conditioning program for a year, and then you'll really more know what you have. You got to take all these players at UCLA with a grain of salt because Chip Kelly's offense is kooky as fuck. So the projection gets harder. There's a lot to like. It's just a raw piece that will be a rotational piece to start with.
In the 7th round, 2 picks for the Miami Dolphins. 225th overall. You got him taking J.T. Woods, safety from Baylor.
If he had not run as fast as he did, I wouldn't have him getting drafted. But he ran a 4.36 at 6'2", a $195, and that tells me somebody's going to go, oh, you can do stuff. Well, here's what nobody wants to talk about. He's a former track star. He was one of the fastest people in the state of Texas coming out of high school. He never learned how to be a football player, though. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Baylor has 3 of those. Baylor must have just 3 years ago, Matt Rule must have just gone to the Texas state track finals and gone fast, all for them all. Because good hell, that is the fastest team in the history of creation. There's not a lot of playmakers. This is as raw as you could possibly be. But at worst, he's going to be a ridiculously fast special teams player. And that takes away, he backpedals well. But he backpedals well because that's what he always did because he got beat deep so fucking often. Totally developmental. A guy that I know they're bringing in for a visit. And that this is what you have to do when you have this little draft capital. Find somebody that's going to contribute in some fucking way. JT Woods will contribute in some way. And if you can develop him, which I'm telling you right now is 2 years away at the earliest, to anything impacting the defense. If you can do that, great. That's house money. Other than that, he's a cheap, real fast player on the fastest team in the history of time.
The fourth and final pick of the NFL draft for Miami comes up at 248 overall. Will Allen Jr., cornerback, Columbia.
And I'm just now getting it really deep diving into the smaller school guys because the way I do this is I get the ones that the tape jumps off to me and they go in the big board. Then I watch who actually gets brought in where to see what teams are thinking about. Kid's a playmaker. You know, it's the level of competition makes it really hard to evaluate him. He's a 2-time All-Ivy League guy, and a dollar will get you a Coke. Mm-hmm. He's super raw. His dad played for the Dolphins. I'm not going to lie. I cheated a little bit there and went, hey, that makes sense. Because this may be somebody that they prioritize as an undrafted free agent. After the draft, there will be grades on undrafted free agents. Miami's probably going to be the biggest player in that market. And it's just a question, what do you look for? If I'm Miami, I've got money set aside going, I'm going to be paying some big-ass bonuses because I need the depth.
Miami Dolphins fans, if you've been searching for mock drafts of your team, we know you are diehard fans.
100%.
Because most fans don't give a shit. We got 4 picks. Screw it.
Something I forgot to say about Will Allen Jr., he's another fantastic kick returner. So I believe that would give you 7 of those. Mm-hmm. You could actually just line up a full team of kick returners and go, we're just going to play oop-de-oop until you fall down, and you're going to.
If you like the picks, if you don't like the picks, throw that in the comments. If you want to go ahead and take the painstaking time to give us your own 4 picks for the Miami Dolphins, you could also do that.
And just feeling as though, you know, with these few picks, I feel like we should at least give you a little insight on who Miami is interested in. You don't have the draft capital to move around the board, so then it becomes a question of, all right, who would those undrafted free agents that you're looking at be? And this is just, you know, in the interest of fairness, because some of these teams have 12 draft picks and you had 4, and 2 of them start with 2. Guys that I know definitively they're interested, they are interested in Kyron Williams. I don't think he gets drafted after he ran so slowly. They've looked at De'Aaron King. You got to be careful with those. I could see him being brought in as just a camp body. I fully believe he's going to have to convert to wide receiver in the NFL if he plans on making a roster because he's not a quarterback. Dedrick Mackey is a cornerback out of Purdue. There's not a lot to him. He's like the Josh Jobe of undrafted corners. I know exactly what he is. He's a 4 or a 5 in the NFL at best, and that's assuming that he makes the roster. And then you get into the guys that are super popular around the league. Cortez Davis, the cornerback out of Hawaii, Ball State linebacker Jalen Thomas, trying to see if Cameron Harris, the running back, and Mike Harley Jr. These are all guys that are really popular with the lesser capital teams because they're going to be really priority free agents.
The Chris Farley perfect mock draft for the Miami Dolphins and their 4 measly picks.
We tried to make that as entertaining as humanly possible. And when your combined draft capital looks, if you add all the numbers together, it looks like you have a whole fleet of picks, and you have 4. We tried.
That's right. We will be covering every pick of the NFL draft live here in the Ingles studio. We are always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Again, if you like the picks or you don't like the picks, throw that into the comments.
If you throw that in the comments on this one, I guarantee you my response is going to be,
well, Lottie frickin' da!
I mean, it's kind of a shit shoot when you're picking this low.
Right.
So Just Merry Draftmas, you got Tyreek Hill.
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. This has been the perfect mock draft for the Miami Dolphins. Hit that subscribe button so you get all of our team-by-team content here throughout the Draftmas season and, of course, through the regular season as well. We will see you next time.